Hello. Hi, yeah, very an audio check. Can you hear me and the game? I'm late? No, we just started. Welcome in, Gray. How are you? Audio checks, please. I can hear? Alright. Is anything too loud or too quiet? Do I need to balance my audio? Or are we good to go? Mike is still doing the half cutout thing. Half cutout thing? I'd lower the game. Okay. Are you... Is my mic still cutting out? Hello? It shouldn't be. Ah! You guys hear me? It's still cutting out. In my noise gate? Does it help if I talk louder? I can hear you. Okay? It seems fine for now? Okay. Hopefully it stays fine. I'll say anything if it's wonky. Please do. Please do. Alright. This is the last trial for this game. Battle Blaze. Let's go. 2 cards. One of the Black Raven. One of the White Raven. Country torn in 2. 1 to the west. 1 to the east. When those which were split are made whole again. The truth will reveal itself. It's the Yatagarasu! The Yatagarasu's here! You. Accursed Yatagarasu! K. You. Don't curse K. 8 hours earlier. Look at him sipping tea. Not a care in the world. So nice. Almost dreamlike. Finally have the chance to relax and sip. Especially after what a whirlwind the past few days have been. My return flight, I was dragged into a case involving an Interpol agent's murder. History! The next day, I investigated a kidnapping and a murder at the Gatewaterland theme park. Later that night, a detective's dead body welcomed me back to my office. Along with a thief who was out to pilfer files related to a case from 10 years ago. I managed to find myself in the middle of so many cases back to back. Ah! Stop skipping! Oh, hi, Kay. Well, at least I have today. All I ask is that I be allowed to spend it quietly. Mr. Edgeworth! This is big! Big, I tell you! Hey! What's with you? Where's your enthusiasm? Suddenly the phrase, the fragility of dreams, comes. What are you talking about? Fragile dreams? Come on, let's go. The fake Yatagarasu isn't going to just find herself, you know. Must know. It's possible that I was paid a visit last night by your fake. Say what? Fortunately for us, the thief managed to escape. But now we are still looking for this criminal. However, I must warn you that we've only had a few hours to search so far. So I must insist that you be patient on this one. What's with you today? You sure you weren't sleep-talking to me right now? Anyway, I've got something much more important that I want you to see. Oh, and that is...
Take a look at this.
March 14th, I will be there to steal your dirtiest secret.
Imperial News, Evening Edition. Yatagarasu sends card to embassy.
Quite a bold declaration to send to an embassy. Suppose it was inevitable that a newspaper would catch wind of this.
The date and card mentioned is today.
Today, huh?
Come on, we've got to hurry. The embassy awaits.
Suppose it is quite an urgent matter. However, do you know which country's embassy we should be investigating?
Well, it's some really special country, and I'm actually really fuzzy on the details. But never mind that. Where's all your energy? Why are you so lackadaisical today?
I'm not, Kay. You're just too wound up.
Well, then you should get wound up too. Too wound up too, because this just might be our chance to catch that woman.
Miss Yu. Woman who killed Kay's father, Byrne Faraday, 7 years ago. Callisto Yu. She claimed to be the great thief Yatagarasu, then disappeared from the courtroom.
Callisto, ew.
That's crazy.
Ugh, she makes me so mad. The phony. Everyone knows that the real Yatagarasu would never send something like a calling card. Until a company's underhanded dealings are made public. The target is always totally unaware that the Yatagarasu has paid them a visit. That's what makes the real Yatagarasu so awesome.
Yatagarasu's card that's shown in this article. It looks to me as though it could be genuine.
See, that's the thing. Whoever it is, that person isn't the real deal, but has knowledge of the Yatagarasu. If this isn't a clue to that woman's involved, then nothing is. Come on, Mr. Edgeworth. Out the door you go.
Wait, there are a few preparations I must make before we go. Something interesting about this card we found last night here in my office. Of a different color than the one in the article, which makes me wonder why.
What's up? Any reason why you're boring a hole through the newspaper with your eyes?
No reason at all. Oh, seeing as how Miss Yu is also someone of a special nature to me, I agree there is some merit to be found in investigating this.
I knew you'd come around.
Let's go! Term Neutralis. By the light of this night's glorious moon, we are ready!
Ready to embark on our nightly outing.
And this is where our tale begins. Steel Samurai is so good. What a coincidence. Who would have thought that a Steel Samurai stage show would ever be held at such an elegant theater inside a foreign embassy?
Yeah, the climax was really awesome. Steel Samurai, Sushi Slash. I got chills down my spine when he pulled that move out.
Suppose it really is more impactful to watch a show in person than on television.
I have to say, though, this embassy is set up kind of funny. I mean, they have two countries sharing the same building.
Well, as you said so yourself, this place and the countries it houses are very special. Even this theater is special in that it's a neutral zone shared by the two countries.
So let me get this straight. Steel Samurai show just now is being sponsored by one of the two countries. The one that's called the Kingdom of Alabast, right?
Yes, it would appear that the Steel Samurai is very popular in that country as well.
Seems that way. But you know who I'm really into? The Jammin' Ninja. The Republic of Babal is sponsoring a Jammin' Ninja stage show. That's something for fangirls like me. You totally gotta see that too, Mr. Edgeworth. The Jammin' Ninja show is gonna kick the Steel Samurai show's rear end.
No, ever since I first met this girl, I've always had this inkling what she really wants to be. Not a thief, but rather a ninja.
Gee, I wonder why you would think that, Edgeworth. So anyway, about today's event. What was it called again?
The Kingdom of Alabast versus the Republic of Babal Goodwill Jubilee. The small European countries of the Kingdom of Alabast and the Republic of Babal. These two countries used to be a single entity that was abundant with nature, and it was called the Principality of Cadopia.
Is everything alright, Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, I'm alright. Moving on. After a period of civil unrest, the country split in two, though signs of their past remain. Oh, their flags preserve the flower and butterfly motifs to this day. Utopia, huh? The KG-8 incident, and what was referred to as the second KG-8 incident.
Utopian embassy staff member Manny Kochin found not guilty.
An embassy staff member was murdered. Both of these cases were related to the Principality of Cadopia. 7 years that have passed, the country may have split into two. However, the Yatagarasu still sent a calling card here. What could it all mean?
Mr. Edgeworth, I know you're thinking about something.
Oh, excuse me. What were we talking about again?
Ugh, if you could please stop spacing out on me. Anyway, we were talking about the Alabast versus Babal Goodwill Jubilee. The two countries have had a pretty bad relationship with each other, but supposedly they've been trying really hard to make up recently. That's why they decided to hold this event.
If that's the case, then why the verses?
Also, both countries claim to own the real Primadux statue, a national treasure to both. They're planning to have them publicly evaluated today to see which one's the real deal.
Need I remind you to take care and not succumb to your thieving desires?
Well, when it comes to treasure, I can't help myself. You know that.
Better be saying that in jest.
Hey, I can read your body language, you know, and you've got it all wrong. Look, I'm here to do some investigating. Investigating, I tell you.
I know. And although we don't know if the Yatagarasu will really make an appearance, suppose we should still spend some time examining this place. There are pamphlets about the two embassies here on this table.
Embassy of Alabast, Embassy of Babal, Theatrum Neutralis. It still looks weird to me.
The country split in two a few years back. And they've shared the building and its grounds, 50-50 ever since.
Oh? I guess it's because they don't have the money to build two separate ones, huh?
I should think that's not the reason why, Kay. I suppose I'll just help myself to one of these.
Two countries share this building with borders. Yay!
What's all the hubbub?
Ah! Hey, look! It's the Seal Samurai! And he's got his son, the Iron Infant, with him! Hi, friend. Oh my gosh, wait, it's Lotta, guys. Look, it's Lotta! Where in tarnation are they? Come on, Big Scoop! Hey, mister, out of the way! Yeah, I'm talking to ya!
Ugh. I seem to remember this woman from somewhere, yet my instincts are directing me not to engage in conversation with her. Perhaps it would be best if I left her alone.
That's crazy. She's back. She's so back.
May I speak with you for a second? Steel Samurai.
Mr. Edgeworth, what are you glaring at him for?
Please excuse me. It's just that I've never seen a superhero up close before.
To Mr. Edgeworth, Steel Samurai Daddy.
Or... Oh, married man of Neo Old Tokyo.
It looks like he's written something down for you.
To Edgeworth, from Steel Samurai Daddy, married man of Neo Old Tokyo.
Wow, an autograph. Pretty cool that you got one, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? Autograph with a sketch of his face and weapon. He's so happy.
Mr. Steel Samurai, Ambassador Alba is waiting for you.
And now, the Steel Samurai will proceed to enter the Kingdom of Alabast to shake the hand of the Ambassador. The Steel Samurai isn't only here for the two countries tonight, but rather can be thought of as a goodwill ambassador from our own country as well. Here he goes, off to spread goodwill to the world.
Really does seem like a goodwill ambassador, doesn't he? Okay, we're shooting the next segment now. Cue camera.
In just a few seconds, the Jammin' Ninja stage show is set to begin. After the show, the Jammin' Ninja will enter the Republic of Babal. He is set to meet with the ambassador of Babal at that time. Ah, the Jammin' Ninja show is about to start. We've got to get back to our seats.
Regrettably, I don't have much of an interest in ninjas.
Well, this show will change your mind. Come on, we have to hurry. If we miss even a second of the Jammin' Ninja's awesome playing, I'll never forgive you.
Suppose you're not about to give me much of a choice here, are you, Kay?
Let her live her life, bro. Ah, I could listen to that A Ninja Marked for Death's Lullaby song any day. His superb playing and that sad melody really brought a tear to my eye. And his heart-wrenching voice, now that's the Jammin' Ninja's greatest weapon. Ah! Those pieces of Jammin' Ninja merchandise over there! I've gotta have them! I especially want the hair sticks they're selling exclusively at these shows. They're exactly like the ones the heroine, Princess Misola, wears in her hair.
Anyway,
hold it right there, Mr. Edgeworth.
yes?
You're thinking of going home, aren't you?
Well, it doesn't seem likely that the Yatagarasu will be making an appearance tonight. Most likely it was simply a prank.
No way! I just know the Yatagarasu will show.
I thought you said the Yatagarasu doesn't send calling cards.
Yeah, I did. But
I figured from the very beginning that this would wind up being a wild goose chase.
that card she sent was a genuine fake calling card.
Genuine fake. Big brain. Genuine fake.
Well, how can I word this? The Yatagarasu's mark that's on the calling card is exactly the same as my mark. Get it now?
We've got a problem! The Yatagarasu's been spotted in Alabast! What?
You heard that, Mr. Edgeworth? Ha! So you finally decided to show yourself, you phony! Hey, what gives?
I'm sorry, but I will need to search you before you may enter.
What the? Hey! The Steel Samurai just waltzed straight on through without one. Now if you don't hurry up and let me through, my phony's going to escape!
K, a country's embassy is considered to be a part of the country itself. If you don't go through the proper procedures to enter the country...
Mr. Edgeworth, I'm going to enter through Babal and climb over the wall to Alabast.
Hold it!
Girl!
You would tell a prosecutor straight out that you intend to illegally enter another... Kay, are you listening to me?
Kay Faraday, and I'm coming through.
Yes, and welcome. Someone stop her. Anyone.
They just let her in.
They said welcome.
Open air stage.
Kay, where are you?
Site safety starts here. Strictly no admittance to unauthorized personnel. Safety helmets, boots, and high-vis vests must be worn at all times. High-vis vests. All visitors and drivers must report to the site office.
Don't tell me you really did find some way over this fence. Ah! Fire! This is too big for us to handle! Looks like the Yatagarasu came to Babal too! You accursed Yatagarasu! Kay! You'd better be alright wherever you are.
Good. Be worried for her. Uh-oh.
No, Gummy!
Baba Lee's embassy, Secretariat's office. I told you it wasn't me!
Hold it!
Oh, I see a dead body. Why is the Statue of Liberty cut in half? Are we seeing this?
Also nice cowboy shirt. Hey, are you alright?
Do I look alright to you? Now can you do something about this woman?
Mr. Edgeworth! Detective Gumshoe, what is the meaning of this? Ugh. Well, sir, it's, this.
It wasn't me! He was already dead when I ran in here, hot on the heels of the fake Yatagarasu. Look, I only came in here because I saw a suspicious person at the open-air stage.
Suspicious person?
A long black coat and a hood over their head. I dare you to tell me that's not suspicious. When I saw that person, I immediately thought that they must be the fake Yatagarasu. So I chased after them into the embassy, then into here, and then lost sight of them. But I just know that person is the one who did it.
What are you so worked up over? There's no reason for you to be this loud. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you're Agent Lung's secretary. Sheena, I believe your name is, correct? If you're making an arrest, I assume you have evidence that it was Kay who committed the crime. Is that also correct? You refuse to answer.
Ugh, she's so pretty.
I don't need to answer. You are merely a prosecutor in this country, meaning you have no investigative authority. Hey, pal, just what the heck does what you just said mean? If it happened here, it's under Mr. Edgeworth's jurisdiction. The end. And seeing as how this building is sitting on our soil, we can investigate wherever we'd like. Unfortunately, Detective, embassies are a different matter. Huh? This office is considered to be a part of the Republic of Babal. It means that anything that happens in here defaults to the control of the Babalese government and Babalese law, giving them exclusive extraterritorial rights. Extraterrestrial rights? Sir, do you really believe that the truth is out there? Basically, our country's laws do not apply inside the embassy of another country. That's what was agreed by our respective governments. Our authority to investigate was effectively nullified the second we entered this place. It means we could do little here in this situation. No way, sir! Please leave this matter to Interpol's hands and go home. Mr. Edgeworth?
Hey! You're not... Mr. Edgeworth?
That long? In that case, allow me to join your...
In that case, allow me to join your investigation.
Let's go! Miss Von Karma! Eek!
Ugh. Ambassador Polino, I truly appreciate you allowing me to join the investigation.
It's really nothing. Manny was my secretariat, so of course I want to help you as much as I can. In fact, it's a blessing that Interpol agents were able to make it so quickly. Ziska.
Well, well. I never imagined that I'd meet you here of all places. This is an embassy, meaning that you have no authority to conduct... Already? What is it?
Ambassador Polino. And you are? I'm Miles Edgeworth, public prosecutor. I ask that you please allow me to investigate this case as Miss Von Karma's assistant. Assistant?
Miles? What the heck do you think you're...
Please, I implore you, Ambassador Polino. Very well, I'll be counting on the two of you, Miss Von Karma and Mr. Edgeworth. What do you mean by you'll be Miss Von Karma's assistant? I don't exactly have a choice, do I, Detective? If I don't become Francisca's assistant, I can't participate in this investigation.
There you go again, running at the mouth with that aloof expression on your face. Sibling duo is back, let's go.
Francisca, please.
I don't know what you're planning quite yet, but at least I do know one thing, that you are now my subordinate. Just remember that my whip is always ready to wake you should you have a brain lapse.
Of course, I'll keep that in mind.
You're done playing games.
Right, let's begin the investigation.
Let's go!
Yippee! By the way, Detective, I suppose it's a bit late to be asking, but why are you here? Well, better late than never, I guess, sir. I was placed on guard duty for the Babalese embassy today. And why are our police guarding an embassy? Well, on account of the card they got from the Yatagarasu. They called us and asked us for our help, sir. Oh, and because we've been searching for the Yatagarasu these past 7 years. It was a more or less mutually beneficial arrangement, if you ask me. Except for how mutually unbeneficial this has all turned out to be, I suppose. Looks like you have failed to competently perform your guard duty yet again. Yeah! Look forward to your next salary negotiation, although it is out of my hands. But sir, if it gets cut anymore, I won't be able to buy even instant noodles anymore.
Bro is being paid absolute peanuts.
Your victim was the secretariat of this embassy, I take it.
Manny Cochin. I heard that he was an admirable person. Very admirable.
The cause of death is a stab to the base of his neck. He lacks in watching his back.
We were fortunate that the fire missed our victim's body for the most part. If the fire had burned a bit longer, it would have made identifying him a hassle.
So Mr. Cochin was stabbed to death in the middle of a raging fire. What in the world happened inside this room?
Cause of death, single stab to the base of neck. The body wasn't badly burnt by the fire. Right.
Something in his pocket. This key. It can't be. Isn't this the Yatagarasu's key that was stolen 7 years ago?
What? But that's...
Huh? 7 years... Oh! You mean that case where I was framed, sir? Yes, it's the piece of evidence that stole the life of Kay's father 7 years ago, which was then stolen by Callisto Yu. What? Mr. Faraday was killed with this key, sir? I thought he was killed with a knife! Eek!
Scruffy, at the very least, try to remember the details of crimes you were a suspect in.
Franziska, as you will recall, Detective Gumshoe was not present when Miss Yu made her escape. Plus, even among law enforcement, only a few knew of the key's existence. I doubt that a new rookie at the time would have been made privy to such knowledge.
I feel like the victim right now, all trampled on, sir.
I suppose I'll just have to fill you in now. The secret to this key is...
Button.
Oh, wow, that's amazing, sir! It's like some kind of magic trick!
Yatagarasu stole this from the embassy 7 years ago. It is also a knife.
Knew it. This is the same exact piece of evidence that Miss Yu took with her. I remember this beautiful pattern on the blade.
I remember this as well. It's a vine motif, isn't it?
Yes, it looks like the two interwoven vines crisscrossing down the blade.
Vines, sirs? I think it looks like a bunch of stars, if you ask me. One of those six-sided stars, just like the police marks on our IDs.
I really don't think you call these stars. To say that the detective's art sense is underdeveloped would be an understatement.
The real question is, why was the Bobolese Embassy's secretariat holding this?
While we don't know how Mr. Cochin came to possess this key, we do know that this was stolen by the Yatagarasu from the Cadopian embassy.
That's right. Mr. Faraday had written that fact down in his organizer.
I believe this means that further research is required into the country of Cadopia.
Why don't you ask Ambassador Polino about what he knows? Supposedly he was a candidate to be the next Cadopian ambassador once long ago. He should be able to answer any specific questions you may have. Okay.
Knife wound.
It's obvious what he was killed with, but I wonder if it's consistent with the wound.
Indeed.
Oh, indeed.
Is this knife the murder weapon?
Some preliminary testing has been conducted. According to the results, the blood on that matches the victim's blood. The blade's shape was also found to be consistent with the stab wound.
I suppose this means that we now know that the crime was committed with this knife.
This knife's got some really fancy ornamentation going on, huh, sir? This thing practically screams artsy at me, too. Although it's also covered in blood, just like the last thing I said was artsy. But the handle is pristine. There's not a single drop of blood on it. Speaking of the handle, I believe it has a butterfly motif. It's very beautiful. A butterfly-shaped guard adorns the handle of the murder weapon. Covered in victim's blood, the blade matches the wound. Butterfly motif is noteworthy. Eh?
This man. Where do I know him from?
Okay, Edgeworth. Okay. Because this is a national treasure, can I ask that you please not touch it? I'm afraid the only ones allowed to touch it are myself and the Secretariat.
Hold it!
But there is a possibility that it's related to the murder, wouldn't you agree?
Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, why don't we give up for now? We can force them to let us investigate it later when we find some solid proof.
I suppose I don't have a choice here. This must be one of the Primitive statues Kay was talking about earlier. Is it just me, or does this man look like the Steel Samurai? Could be twins.
Both countries claim to own a real one. National treasure only the ambassador and secretariat can touch.
Mr. Edgeworth, there's still something on the display rack, sir! Knives, huh? Although the blades are all that remain of them, unfortunately. I guess the handles all got burnt off by the fire.
Ah, so even the knives fell victim to the fire.
Ambassador Polino, are these knives yours?
Why, yes, they are. They are a special set of ornamental knives featuring the national symbol of Babal. The butterfly-themed knives, along with Alabast's own set of knives, are comprised of 3 knives each. But I can't believe the Bobolese ones have been reduced to this state.
Ornamental knives, huh? There's a small release on the tang of this blade. Ambassador Polino, what is this notch here for?
Well, that! It's a feature of these knives wherein you can freely exchange the handles on them, so that we can change how they look to fit the situation, of course.
See. So these knives are constructed so that the handles could be easily removed.
Good to know.
These shelves are lined with American souvenirs and memorabilia.
It's really strange, isn't it? I mean, I thought this was the Babalese embassy.
So, why are there so many American souvenirs, sir? Perhaps the Babalese are studying American culture and our tourism industry. If they have plans to make the Babalese tourism industry truly flourish, then they would need to observe and study other countries' methods, I suppose.
Rah, indeed.
Speaking of tourism, I got these from the blonde guy earlier, sir.
Republic of Babal coupon.
He said that if I bring these with me to Babal, I could trade him in for a few buffets. Oh, so how do you expect to travel to Babal? Well, the whole world is connected by the ocean, sir. And for an all-you-can-eat buffet, I'd swim all the way to Babal if I have to. Can a few simple coupons really motivate people to do such fantastic things?
Why not? Let him live his life.
Hey, it's another butterfly. I believe it is the symbol of the Republic of Babal.
National symbol that adorns the national flag. Alabaster flower is its counterpart.
Drawing this big on the wall of an embassy definitely conveys a sense of overwhelming patriotism. Well, I've got a lot of patriotism too, sir. The reason I became a cop in the first place was because I wanted to protect our country. You may want to, detective. However, I have yet to see the fruits of your desire. You don't have to be so blunt about it, sir.
That's crazy.
Design on the knife's handle greatly resembles the special Babalese species of butterfly.
It does, doesn't it? Plus, it says right here.
This knife is property of the Republic of Babal. Perhaps this means that the knife used in the crime was found right in this room.
Big brain.
Small personal safe.
This was Mr. Cochin's office, so perhaps he stored his most important documents in here.
Of course it's locked. It would appear we won't be able to open it without the key.
The Yatagarasu's key?
The ceiling fan must have fallen from the ceiling.
That is where ceiling fans are, Edgeworth.
Ceiling fan? What does one of those do? Exactly what it sounds like it does. It's a fan that is installed on one's ceiling. Well, if I had one of those in my room, I bet I'd go dizzy from staring at it as I slept. Detective Gumshoe, in the real world, we close our eyes when we sleep.
That's crazy. I look at the desk, please. Can I look at the desk, please?
Sorry, but Interpol is still conducting its investigation beyond this point. A subordinate of Miss Von Karma. Is there some reason why I'm being denied access? My superior clearly stated, don't you dare let anyone near the site. You got it? If I let you examine the site, my superior would get really angry at me. No, Mr. Edgeworth. I feel really bad for the guy, so why don't we do as he says? I suppose we might as well.
I can look at this.
Some fireplace. You know, it really gives this place a mansion-like quality, don't you think, sir? Ooh, if these are a staple in every Bubbly's house. And I bet Santa Claus pays them a visit, too. Just how old are you again, detective?
Okay.
Looks like this was once a magnificent grandfather clock, but it has fallen victim to the fire. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, is it okay for me to talk about the clocks in my house, sir? If they're unrelated to the case, I hope that you will refrain from sharing, but... Well, there's this one clock that... What? There's one clock that I made by myself, but the timer on it manages to auto... That's quite enough, detective.
No, let him speak. I can't believe that Manny fell among thieves tonight. Without him, I have no idea what my schedule for tonight is.
Bro. Ambassador Polino, I believe your schedule tonight will consist of listening to reports from the police. That and only that. I ask that you cooperate not only for your own sake, but for Mr. Cochin's as well.
You're a rather strong man, aren't you? How fascinating! Here, I know it isn't much, but I'd like you to have these.
Sorry, but it would be against my principles to accept a bribe.
Oh, no. These are simply coupons we distribute to promote Babal. Remember, we offer a large number of discounts and offers when you visit lovely Babal.
Now I remember, the Republic of Babal is known for its feverish tourism industry.
Manny Cochin.
I was wondering if you might tell me a bit about the deceased, Manny Cochin.
He was my secretary in the embassy secretariat, charged with running the whole place. He was an admirable man. His death is a great loss to our country.
He was in charge of everything. Accounting, printing, taking care of our national treasures. I'm sorry, but did you say printing? Our country's primary source of revenue is our tourism industry. So in order for us to print the necessary pamphlets, flyers, coupons, etc., we have a printing press here at our embassy. See, please excuse my forwardness, however, I feel I should mention that I have the distinct impression that I've met him before. Oh, yes. Since you are of the legal profession, I suppose you just might have. After all, Manny was involved in the KG-8 incident. The KG-8 incident? The defendant who was found innocent in that case was Manny. You're Mr. Coach. Same man as the one in that case. It has been 10 years. Manny recovered personally from that case and dove enthusiastically into this job. He was the one who planned this event and was to oversee this embassy's renovations. It really is a shame. He had such a bright future ahead of him. Renovations? What exactly did you mean earlier by renovations? We can't have tourists and visitors to our embassy and think we are a poor nation, can we? So renovating the embassy is something of an investment. We may have a rather paltry budget, but we are trying our best to make do. However, I guess the only person who could have helped us do our best is now no longer with us. Okay. Ambassador Polino, I was wondering if I may ask you about Cadopia. Cadopia? Alright, what would you like to talk about? First, I'd like to ask you about this key. What about this key? Found it sticking out of Mr. Cochin's pocket. I believe it originally belonged to this embassy. Is that correct? Upon closer inspection, it seems that this key is shaped like a butterfly. That is not all about this key. It is also capable of changing into a knife. Oh! How fascinating! Possible that the ambassador didn't know about the existence of this key. In its knife form, there is a flower mark at the base of the blade. I guess this knife might be from when we used to be a part of Cadopia. How did you come to that conclusion? It has both of Cadopia's national symbols, the butterfly and the flower. I suppose Manny used this key here at the embassy back when we were still in Cadopia. This key was stolen from the Cadopian embassy 7 years ago by the Yatagarasu. Ambassador Polino, this key was stolen from the Cadopian embassy 7 years ago by Callisto Yu, otherwise known as the Great Thief Yatagarasu. Oh, really? We were not aware that Miss Yu had broken into this embassy at the time. I'm sorry I can't be of much help. I'm not very familiar with the details, you see. I only became the ambassador after Babal became its own independent nation. But if Manny were still alive, he would probably know about what happened back then. Mr. Cochin and Miss Yu knew each other 7 years ago. But that doesn't explain why I found the Yatagarasu's key here in the present. Can I give him anything? This? This statue resembles that hero, the Steel Samurai, don't you think? I was thinking, what would you say to changing its name to the Steel Samurai statue? It just might attract a few more tourists to our country if I did, right? Not sure what to think. I thought that thing was a national treasure. Okay, dude. This. Oh dear. If people were to find out that a murder occurred at our embassy, the number of tourists would plummet as would our revenues. It would be a disaster. What are we going to do? Really does seem worried. Perhaps I should refrain from bringing this up. Oh, okay. Okay. Very helpful, sir. 37. Ambassador Babal who will do absolutely anything for his country's tourism. Oh. I talk with... Hey, are you alright?
You believe me, don't you, Mr. Edgeworth? You don't think I did it, right?
Yes, of course I don't. Promise to prove that it wasn't you. That's enough chit-chat. You can investigate all you like, but it's only a matter of time before we take her in. It'd be wise of you to give up while you can. No, I don't think so. He isn't lying, and my investigation will prove that to be true. Go ahead and try then if you're that confident. I can't allow this to continue on this way. I must prove her innocence post-haste. Alright. Frenzy, help!
Miles Edgeworth.
What is it?
Let me tell you something. You are currently my subordinate. And if you wish to convince everyone else of that, you will speak to me with respect.
What's with the giddy glint in her eyes? I don't think that'll really be necessary, Francisca.
Oh, really? Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't change the fact that you were still under me.
I thought Francisca was flying around the world in pursuit of the smuggling case. So then why is she here at this embassy?
Why is she here when she's supposed to be overseas in pursuit of the smuggling ring? A murder. I was investigating at the Alabastian embassy when I got wind of this mess.
That's right. The Yatagarasu was due to appear at the embassy as well.
Yes, but the difference is that we didn't have a fire over there. Although, there was an incident at the Alabastian embassy as well. But I left Agent Long in charge of that case and came over to the Babalese embassy.
Ah, so Agent Long is here as well, huh?
I see you've met. Well, he's in the Alabastian embassy acting as a bodyguard for Ambassador Alba. However, he seems to have a different reason for being there. So the suspect in the murder that occurred in this office is that little girl I see. Is she perhaps trying to be the Yatagarasu?
Kay would never harm a soul, sir!
Kay.
Remember, do you not? About the case we investigated together 7 years ago. That girl is the daughter of the victim in that case, Mr. Faraday.
So she's that feisty little girl.
But on the trail of the Yatagarasu, which is how she ended up here. Looking for the one who stole her father's life.
I see.
He's trying so hard, but you know what? The Yatagarasu just keeps tricking us all. How so? The Yatagarasu sent a card saying, "I'll be there to steal your dirtiest secret."
The card warned that the Yatagarasu would steal the embassy's dirtiest secret.
But all we've had is an arson and a murder. The lab boys are going in circles. You know what this is, sirs? It's a breach of contract, and it's going on the rap sheet.
If you ask me, I'm perfectly fine with the fact that nothing was stolen tonight.
You wonder, though, if Callisto Yu really is the Yatagarasu.
It appears that he died of a stab wound. Ugh. Whoever did this had a lot of nerve. I just can't fathom what could have led the killer to turn a knife against a man.
I just can't fathom what the prosecutor lashing out with her whip is thinking.
That's crazy. Okay. Would you mind not pointing that in my direction? It's dangerous. And anyway, why are you showing it to me?
No particular reason.
Okay. If you have no reason, don't you bring that dangerous object near me. Do you understand?
Is she really that oblivious to the irony in that statement? She lets loose that dangerous whip of hers for no reason all the time.
What if we flex? Okay, no. Okay. No! Would you mind not pointing that in my direction? Okay. 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 Alright. It doesn't have a check mark. There is something else I need to ask? Can't leave.
There are still some burnt objects scattered on the floor.
Well, burnt things get burnt, and then they become burnt things, you know?
No, because there's no way to prove that the burnt thing started out as a burnt thing.
What? That a burnt thing or was it not? I have no idea what's what anymore, sir.
Yes, I suppose it is a bit hard for someone with a burnt-out light bulb to comprehend.
That's crazy. Okay. What am I supposed to... This? This? What about your prosecutor's badge? I have one too, you know.
Yes, so you do. Seeing as I'm not currently a proper prosecutor, I thought I'd give presenting it a try.
Is that any way for you to act towards your superior?
As if threatening a whipping is the proper way of lecturing someone.
Okay. I don't know what to do. Locked safe, stealing of secret. Key at embassy. Maybe. Hold on. We're cooking.
I know for a fact that the Yatagarasu's key was used at the embassy. Furthermore, we found it in the victim Mr. Cochin's pocket, which leads me to think that perhaps it is the key to the personal safe in this office.
Good thinking, sir. Let's go try it out.
Appears that I was correct. The key that was left to us in the victim's pocket. It literally turned out to be the key to the next piece of the truth. What do we have here?
Hey, there's nothing inside. Do you think the Yatagarasu made off with everything, sir?
No, Detective. I believe all we need is a closer look.
Because there's papers right here.
What is this here?
It looks like the ripped corner of a piece of paper, sir.
No, I don't think it's ripped. It seems more like, to me, that it's stuck in the safe.
Hey, you're right. It won't budge an inch, even when I tug on it. But I don't think I've ever seen paper stuck on the inside of a safe before.
Hold it.
Detective, I think you have it backwards. It's not the paper that's strange, it's the safe.
What do you mean?
What I mean is that the secret to the safe is
That it has 2 compartments.
even just eyeballing it, you could see that the inside is a bit too shallow. Furthermore, with the unnatural way the paper is stuck to the back of the safe, I'd say that there's an extra bit of space behind the back wall of the safe. In other words, this safe has a second compartment.
What? I suppose that you are correct in asserting that the paper is stuck in an unnatural manner. However, if what you say is correct and there is a second compartment, how do we go about opening the door to it then? As you can see, there's no other lock or keyhole in sight.
There is one more spot of interest to me on the safe.
Oh?
Yes, and I believe that spot is the keyhole to our mystery second lock.
The safe and its locks. Alright then, since you're so sure of yourself, show me how you deduce your answer. Yes, ma'am.
Deduce.
This...
Eureka!
Doesn't the shape of this keyhole remind you of something, Francisca?
shape. It does look very familiar. However, I believe it's simply a latch hole for the safe's lock mechanism. It's just for keeping the door shut, nothing more.
Hold it.
That's so. The person who used the safe, Mr. Cochin, made sure the safe had 2 compartments in order to hide something. Do you honestly think someone like that would allow this keyhole to the hidden half to look so obviously like a keyhole that even the average person could figure it out?
You can't be serious. Are you saying that this hole is the keyhole to the hidden compartment of the safe?
That's precisely what I'm saying. And I will prove it to you right now. That the Yatagarasu's key is the key that will open it.
The Yatagarasu's key? Miles Edgeworth, this had better be a very bad joke.
Sorry, but this is no joke. The Yatagarasu's key is the very key that will open the second compartment of the safe.
We know that this key opens the first compartment of the safe, but the keyhole you're talking about is of an entirely different shape than that of the key.
We discovered this trick 7 years ago, and with it we were able to corner Miss Yu. But who would have thought that I'd see this key again after all this time?
Can I...
Let's go over this again, shall we? The Yatagarasu's key was originally made to open Mr. Cochin's safe in the Kodopian embassy. We confirmed that as a fact by opening the door to his safe with it. Now let's take a look at the back end of the key. Looking at the knife portion head on, what do you see?
What are you talking... Ah!
It appears that you'd come to understand what I'm talking about. When viewed head on, the knife's blade is the exact same shape as the keyhole. The real function of the knife portion is to act as the key to the hidden portion of the safe.
But that's preposterous!
Because it looks like a knife and was used like one to kill Mr. Faraday 7 years ago. Fell under the misconception that it was always meant to be a knife. But for both the safe and its key to conceal such clever tricks, whatever is hidden inside the secret section must be of incredible importance.
Then it's even possible that what I've been searching for is inside. Scruffy, hurry up and open that safe. Yes, sir. Opening it now, sir.
Items. They're
A bunch of funny-shaped things. I guess they're pieces of art, huh, sir? You're in the way. Now move, Scruffy.
I didn't think I was in the way.
These pieces of art. They're identical to the ones that have been stolen from various countries around the world.
Figured as much. These are the treasures this section of the safe was to hide from view. I believe a more thorough examination is required. This is the document that we thought was stuck earlier. I wonder what it's about.
Beats me, sir.
Why don't we take a look at it first before we give up, Detective? Mr. Cochin's name is written here on the last page. Wonder what the significance of this document is.
Can we take it?
These are pieces of stolen art from around the world.
I wonder how much they're worth, especially this one. Eek! Scruffy, don't touch those valuable pieces of art with your filthy hands. Why, do you have any idea? Why, Do you have any idea what would happen to you if one of them were to break?
Is it just me, or did you hit one of the pieces of art just now?
That's crazy.
Here's that we found the key that the Yatagarasu, no, Miss Yu stole 7 years ago. Since it was originally from this embassy, maybe she came back to return it. I don't think she's the type to be so kind as to do such a thing, Detective.
Okay, then what do you think, sir?
Callisto Yu, what reason did she steal the key?
Well, she was a part of the smuggling ring.
Well, this sort of trick into one's safe is really something.
Yeah, it's neat how the safe has 2 compartments, but what's really impressive is that the other end of the key was the other key. I totally hadn't noticed.
I wonder if Mr. Cochin was just paranoid, or if he had secrets of that great a value.
Speaking of paranoid, I once sharpened both ends of my pencil. But then when I went to erase something, I got all paranoid that I was gonna stab myself.
Please refrain from dispensing your special brand of unrelated stories while on duty.
Yes, sir.
Francisca's return, the stealing of a secret.
Steal your dirtiest secret. Is it possible that the dirty secret the Yatagarasu was out to steal is in this very room?
Dirty secret?
Francisca, you're in pursuit of some dirty, underhanded dealings yourself, are you not? Something tells me that this is no coincidence.
In that case, then, the person I'm looking for is here in the Bobolese embassy, huh? The head of the smuggling operation.
I might need to ask Francisca about her smuggling case in more depth.
Okay. Smuggling.
Francisca, when we last talked, you said that you were on the trail of a smuggling ring. I suppose the reason you were here right now is related to that.
Yes. After analyzing the intel we gathered from various countries, this embassy rose to the top of our list of sites to investigate. And this is what tipped us off.
This accounting document.
It's only 1 page of the whole thing, so we're not sure about all the details. However, it's enough for us to grab onto the tail of the beast. For you see, this type of paper was made only in the Principality of Cadopia. Which means that somewhere in the countries of Alabasta and Babal is the head. The one pulling the strings behind the entire smuggling ring.
Francisca for you. She's amazing. Pursuing this case with all she has.
Accounting document related to smuggling. Proof someone in one of the countries is the ringleader. We were able to finally obtain the proof of the smuggling operation through Interpol. So remember to take extra care when handling it, my subordinate.
She's enjoying the power trip of calling me her subordinate just a tad too much.
Okay. It's so cute. Okay. Now what? No. Talk to Polino and hand him the thingy. Present paper. Thanks for the coupons, buddy. Okay. I don't know what to do. No more things to... What? Looked at that, I looked at that, I looked at that. Look at this. Talk to them. It's done. The body. What am I doing? Hello? Can I look at this again? Touch it. Blah. Okay. Okay. Are you alright? Blah, blah, blah. I don't know what to do. Do I have to look at my...
A lot of skilled detailing on the handle. It appeared that the handle of this knife is removable.
I guess so people can change them whenever they feel like it. Sounds like fun, sir.
I don't think people would remove the handle just for fun, Detective.
Can we remove the handle, please? Oh?
So this is what took Mr. Kochin's life. Some of his blood is still on the blade.
Wow, I've been a detective for 7 years already. I've seen a lot of weapons in my days, but knives that were used to kill are always the hardest for me to bear.
Yes, unlike guns, this is one weapon where you're likely to find the victim's blood on it.
Yeah, just like how this one's practically drenched in it, huh, sir?
Despite that, it looks like the blood managed to miss the handle somehow.
Okay. Can we take the... Done that. Looked at that. Page 2. Okay. Photograph. Okay. I don't know what to do.
Yatagarasu's key was originally made to open the safe. Babali's embassy secretariat's office. Whilst the blade looks like a simple knife at first glance, when viewed head-on, it's actually the same shape as the second keyhole in the safe. This key was stolen by the Yatagarasu 7 years ago from the Cadopian embassy, which suggested this was made while Cadopia still existed as a country.
Cool. Okay. And... butterflies.
We discovered this trick 7 years ago, and with it we were able to corner Miss Yu. But who would have thought that I'd see this key again after all this time?
Butterfly.
It's not that far-fetched to think that the end of this key was meant to be a butterfly. The keymaker must have been a true patriot to have fashioned this after their national symbol.
Okay. And... I don't know what to do. Eh. There's like water over here. Water on the ground. I've done everything. Let me go. Release me. Let me through. Let me through. I don't know what to do. Ceiling fan.
Yes, sir.
Vent. Nothing. This. Lovely. I don't know what to do. Okay. Google, help me. Turn about a... Logic combination. We've done that. Yes. Oh, okay. Cool. Thanks, game, for telling me that I'm done with things when I'm not. Deduce. Not that. No, no. Hold on. This. Deduce. Paper.
Good look at these documents, Francisca.
1, 3, and 3, 3. It says here that there are 3 pages total, and yet there are only 2 here.
Correct. Now take a look at the smuggling activity document in your possession. Tell me, is it not possible that your page was taken from this set of 3?
Well, well, it certainly looks that way.
Putting our multi-part puzzle together, we seem to have arrived at an answer. It seems that you have now found what you were looking for.
Yes, and with this, it has become crystal clear that Mr. Kochin himself was responsible for the mass smuggling of Babali's ink.
Babali's ink.
Babali's ink is a special product of the Republic of Babal. However, due to a very special reason, only a limited volume is ever exported.
That reason is...
That's classified. It's on a need-to-know basis, and you don't need to know. In any case, it seems that the head of our smuggling ring was our victim, Mr. Manny Kochin.
Base was an embassy, thus it was hard for both our country and his to interfere. making it the ideal conditions under which to run a smuggling operation.
Ugh, but it's so frustrating. I lost the person I was to rain judgment down upon with my whip of justice.
Well, even if he is dead, we still have a responsibility to look into his misdeeds.
You expect me to whip a dead man? Well, I'm not interested.
Francisca, you must know, Manny Cochin was the suspect in the KG-8 incident.
Of course I know. On top of being the head of the smuggling ring, there's the matter of what really happened in that case that needs to be resolved.
Yay! Let's go.
Are you done investigating? You realize now, don't you, that this girl is the only one it could be. Now come along quietly, Yatagarasu. Hey, Faraday. You are under arrest for the murder of Manny Cochin. Mr. Edgeworth! Please, you have to believe me. I didn't do it! I chased the fake Yatagarasu in here, and he was already... You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you.
I'd like to help you reduce the number of mistaken arrests Interpol makes.
What is that supposed to mean?
I believe I told you that Kay Faraday is not the culprit of this crime.
I suppose I have no choice. I'll show you just how foolish your claims are. Why arrest Kay? Even your police confirmed that the Yatagarasu infiltrated the Babali's embassy tonight. Utilizing the confusion caused by the fire, the Yatagarasu snuck into this embassy. Furthermore, this girl claims to be the Yatagarasu. Most importantly, other than her, there was no one else in here with a body.
Reason for suspecting Kay is because you think she's the Yatagarasu.
Exactly. But it isn't just me. She calls herself the Yatagarasu. Ugh! Look, how many times do I have to tell you? I was only out to capture the fake Yatagarasu. Imposter or not, it matters not. A Yatagarasu is a Yatagarasu.
Very well, then I shall prove that Kay is not the Yatagarasu who killed Mr. Manny Cochin.
Go ahead and try. Alright. Even your police confirmed that the using the Yatagarasu snuck into this embassy. Are we sure it was this one?
Confusion caused by the fire. Are you saying that the Yatagarasu was not the arsonist who started the fire?
Suspicious person in a long coat was spotted in the area. Officers in the area claim to have seen that person start the fire.
Sounds like we have a phantom in our midst.
Yeah.
In a way, he could be considered a phantom with the way he randomly appears.
What was that, Gumshoe? What was that all about? Girl claims to be the Yatagarasu, correct. And most importantly, other than her, there was no one else in here with a body.
Hold it! I really don't think that being the first to discover the body makes her the killer by default.
No, but if you saw the self-reported Yatagarasu standing in front of a body, wouldn't you get a little suspicious yourself?
Ugh. Even so, I'd still listen to what that person had to say before I passed judgment.
Are you talking about yourself in those times when you were under suspicion?
I think the pain of being falsely accused is something you should really experience.
I personally know that feeling very well, sir.
And given my situation, I now know exactly what it's like too. I'm fine with never experiencing it ever. Done with your little group conference.
And Sheena suspects Kay of murder simply because Kay is the Yatagarasu. If I can prove that the Yatagarasu's goal is not related to murder, then I may be able to begin to reason with her.
Your police confirmed that the Yatagarasu infiltrated.
Hold it! They may have confirmed it, but are you telling me that no one could catch the thief? If so, then you're basically admitting that the Yatagarasu that committed murder eluded us.
Of course I chased after the Yatagarasu that entered the Babali's embassy right away. And that is also why I'm making this arrest right now. Because at the very end of my long chase, there was only this girl.
Whoa!
In any case, this is what I believe happened tonight. Okay?
Hold it! Just because she calls herself that, it doesn't prove that she's a killer.
No, but it does give her a motive. Yatagarasu sent a card saying, "I will be there to steal your dirtiest secret." Furthermore, there are documents pertaining to some smuggling activity in this room. She obviously wanted to steal them, so she killed Mr. Cochin for the key.
See, logic is very sound. I expected nothing less of Agent Long's secretary. However, that statement just now didn't sound right. It might just be the opening I need.
She wanted to steal documents regarding smuggling, so she killed Mr. Cochin for the key. But we found the key on his person. She didn't take it. Present.
Agent Sheena, I regret to inform you, but there is a flaw in your logic. You claim that she is the killer in the Yatagarasu. I'm certain that securing the smuggling documents is not the motive behind the murder. The key to the safe in this room was found on Mr. Kochin's body. Furthermore, the Yatagarasu would not be so stupid as to leave without the documents. By the simplest fact that the documents were still in the safe when we looked, it is obvious that the killer's target was not the safe at all.
Then perhaps you didn't know that Mr. Kochin had this key on him. It was pretty obvious.
If that's the case, then why would she have needed to kill him? Because I can think of no other reason for her to kill him if she had not known that fact.
Need. Reason. All of this is simply our conjecturing after the fact. It's entirely possible that she accidentally killed him when she was sneaking in. Perhaps she didn't notice the safe's second compartment before returning the key. Ugh. But the fact still remains that Mr. Kochin was stabbed to death.
But you have no definitive proof that it was Kay who committed the act.
Actually, I do. I saw her holding the knife she used on the victim with my own eyes.
What?
Allow me to tell you a bit more about the evidence that'll put her away behind bars. That's crazy. Definitive evidence. The knife wound on the body is consistent with the blade of the knife. The knife with the butterfly handle is the murder weapon which the killer was holding. I assume she obtained the knife from the display rack and used it on the victim. The knife is a part of a special 3-piece set which has a design like no other. The evidence and testimony, it all points to the girl. There is no counter-argument.
That's your definitive evidence.
You see now that she is definitely the killer, right? No, Mr. Edgeworth! You've got to believe me. I saw a suspicious person in a long black coat outside the embassy, I swear!
You came in here because you were chasing this suspicious person.
That's right! I ran into this office only because I was chasing after that person. But when I entered the room, it was pitch black. I couldn't see a thing. I felt something on the ground next to my foot, so I turned on the lights. But then... Ah!
Who's there?
This is... I came to this room upon hearing the girl's scream, and when I saw her holding the knife, I immediately restrained her.
The object Kay felt by her feet on the floor was the murder weapon.
I had the knife analyzed right away, but we failed to find anyone's prints on it. But the suspicious person in the black coat who came into this room before me... You continue to insist there was such a person, but if there was, where did they go? I don't know, but I know they came in here. Sounds like the desperate excuses of a suspected killer, not a trustworthy testimony. You understand, don't you? We can't trust this girl's words, Mr. Edgeworth.
She has a point. Even if Kay's words are the truth, I must show that they are with some solid evidence.
Mr. Edgeworth, I really didn't!
Kay, don't worry. You didn't do it, then there must exist a way for me to prove that.
Still not giving up, I see. In that case, try to counter my argument if you can.
Don't worry, I can and I will.
Walk in. The knife wound on the body is consistent with the blade of the knife, okay?
Hold it!
Does this mean that you already have the results back?
We have confirmed that the shape of the Bobbly's knife blade matches the wound. Please don't confuse the efficiency of Interpol's forensics teams with your own. That's crazy.
I won't if you don't underestimate our police force. And so we're clear, I'd hardly say your logic is sound, which you will see in a bit.
If you could prove me wrong, please, by all means, go ahead.
That has been my intention all along. Now let us return to your testimony.
With the butterfly handles. But, like, the handles are interchangeable.
You mean to say that you saw Kay holding the murder weapon with your own eyes?
I was also on the search for the Yatagarasu. When I heard the girl's screams coming from this room, I rushed over straight away. When I arrived, I saw the girl standing there motionless with the knife in her hands. But I already told you! I only came in here because I was also after the Yatagarasu. The suspicious person I saw came into this room. When I entered, it was pitch dark. I felt something by my foot on the floor, so I turned on the lights and then...
Found out that it was the murder weapon at your feet.
How many times do I have to tell you? We can't trust the words of a suspect.
The only thing you'll accept as evidence, is it?
That's the only acceptable way to counter an agent of Interpol on the scene of a crime. Mr. Edgeworth, do you have some kind of evidence that could prove me innocent?
I think I do, because there is one piece of evidence I find to be a bit interesting. I think I need to carefully examine that piece of evidence again.
Okay. Okay. Can we take it off, please? I assume she took the knife from the display rack and used it on the victim. If she did that, it wouldn't have a handle. I'm pretty sure, because they all burned off. Alright, present. Nope.
Is it the other one?
Go back.
Sent.
Ah! I was close.
The murder weapon was the knife with the butterfly design on it. But is that really the truth?
What are you getting at?
I'd like for you to take a look at this. There is blood on the blade, and yet there is not a speck of blood on the handle. This signifies that at the time of the crime, a different handle was attached to the blade. The knife that Kay was holding had its handle switched, and was in fact not the real murder weapon.
It wasn't the real murder weapon.
This knife can be taken apart. Shall we give it a go? As you can see, the Bobbleese knife has now been disassembled into two parts.
Flower!
The killer must have pulled the murder weapon out of the victim's body, proceeded to swap the knife's original handle with the butterfly one. It was all to create the illusion that Mr. Cochin was killed with a butterfly-themed knife.
Ah!
The hair was crazy. This should clear up any and all suspicion surrounding Kay.
What about the real murder weapon's handle? Its blade has yet to be found. Her argument isn't airtight yet.
How so?
It's possible that the girl herself is the one who switched the handles.
Don't be ridiculous. For what purpose would she do such a thing?
I don't care to know how a criminal thinks. The way they view the world is beyond the comprehension of a normal person like myself. Therefore, I wouldn't put anything past them, no matter how odd it may seem.
The truth is right there in front of you, and this knife will show you the way. You will come to see that Kay is not and could not have been Mr. Cochin's killer.
Flower! What is this mark on here?
The mark of a flower. I assume you know what this means.
No, not really. Butterflies rest on flowers all the time to drink their sweet nectar.
So they do. However, would this butterfly really drink the nectar of this flower? The answer is clearly, not a chance. Now to prove the relationship between the butterfly and the flower with this.
With this? Ah!
Take that!
You can't be serious.
It appears that you've made the connection. The flower on this blade is designed after a certain country's national symbol. Right, the Kingdom of Alabast. In other words, this blade is from one of Alabast's ornamental knives.
Ah!
This part of the knife's handle has Babal's national symbol of the butterfly on it. Therefore, it is undeniably Bobbleese in origin. But as we both know, you can't kill someone with just a knife handle. Incidentally, where exactly did the murder occur again, Agent Sheena?
Ah! After the fire had broken out.
That's right. Kay entered the Bobbleese embassy after the fire had taken place. Furthermore, she had not been to the Alabastian side of the building before then. On top of that, not a single person passed between the two countries during the fire. Which means that Kay could not have transported an Alabastian object over here. This makes it impossible for her to be the true killer.
Whoop! Way to go, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. What a great victory! Huh? Hey, why is everyone so quiet?
Happy that we got this far and cleared Kay's name. What worries me now is what'll happen.
Objection!
What is the meaning of this? An Alabastian knife? Here?
I mean, How did this find its way to the Republic of Babal? It didn't just find its way over. Rather, we should focus on how it was smuggled over.
You know what? My brain hurts thinking about it while we're just standing around. Thinking while you're on the run. Now that's the way a real great thief operates. Oh, thanks a bunch, Mr. Edgeworth. For proving me innocent, I mean. You believed in me the whole time, right? Tell me you did.
Not really, but...
Haha. Come on, you don't have to be shy about it.
Your argument is still not airtight. Would you care to elaborate? I understand now that the girl didn't commit the murder. However, there is still the possibility that she is the Yatagarasu.
That again? Look, how many times do I have to explain it to you? I am the real Yatagarasu. I'm not like that fake one that goes around setting fires, okay?
Whether you're the real deal or a fake, it doesn't really matter. All I have to say is this. I have my suspicions that this girl is the one who started the fire.
That's crazy.
Preposterous! On what grounds do you suspect her of such a thing?
The fact that she calls herself the Yatagarasu.
That in itself is the most elegant proof.
Miss Sheena.
Yes?
I have no intention of taking back any of what I've said. I am the great thief Yatagarasu, and I refuse to allow some impostor to claim that that name is their own. The path of justice that my father pointed me towards, I'll walk it the best I can.
Not good to be so stubborn. I hope you can understand that.
Thanks a lot for the concern, Miss Sheena. Let me share something with you too, as a token of my appreciation. Those sunglasses totally do nothing for you, so I'll steal them from you next time, okay?
But
that's crazy. But also, low-key true. I like the sunglasses too, though. They're funny. Well, I guess we better get going.
Going? To where?
To the Kingdom of Alabast. If we don't go, we won't know for sure, right?
Suppose not.
We won't get anywhere simply by standing here thinking.
To see where the Alabastrian knife came from,
we'll have to pay the Alabastrian embassy a visit.
Let's go, Miles Edgeworth.
As you are my subordinate, I will not tolerate you bringing the investigation to a halt.
Stood.
Cute. We'll be saving. That is where we will stop for today. Thank you guys so much for coming. We'll be drawing on... It's Tuesday night for... So until then, bye-bye!